type of blade. It's an 1/8 of an inch thick, okay? And this one is really designed for cross cutting. Cross cutting is cutting across the grain. Across the grain. Now, this one's kind of cool because you can change the angle. And we can lock it in at what degrees? What degrees do you think that is? Who said that? What is it? 45 degrees. Why is 45 degrees important? Because it's half a 90, right? So, the way I'm going to bring this back to where it's supposed to be, this would be at 0 degrees, right? Lock it in place. It's all locked in now. So do you guys see the blade right here? Here's the blade. Here's the motor, right there. And we can raise and lower this blade by cranking this thing right here. So I'm going to bring it down. So we don't even have to cut through the entire piece of wood. Maybe we only want to cut halfway through the piece of wood. So we would measure from the table up to the bottom of the blade, and that would determine how much we're cutting through, right? I'm going to bring it down. At this point, we would cut all the way through the piece of wood. Now, to use this machine, this is a kickback tool right here. We want to make sure that that's down and set. We're going to make our cut, okay? Now, when we want to make that cut, we turn the machine on, and we want to hold the piece of wood up against the fence. See the fence? See it right here? Okay. Now, the fence, we want to hold the fence and the piece of wood. My fingers should be at least 6 inches from the blade, so we don't have a problem. We never want to cross our arms. We never want to go here and pull from here. We want to hold with our left hand here, take our right hand, and we want to grab the pistol grip right here. You see that? And we're going to pull that towards us. Now when you pull it toward you, you're watching the blade. You watch the blade go through the piece of wood, and once it reaches through the piece of wood, then you return it back to its home. We don't have to come all the way out here to cut the piece of wood, okay? So once the piece of wood is cut, then we return it home. Now, even though this machine is very strong, you guys are stronger. You can pull it out too fast. You'll bog the motor down. It's not good for the motor. Okay? So you want to pull it out, you want to listen. You want to listen to the blade cutting the piece of wood. So it's return it. Okay? So you want to listen. If it sounds like the motor is struggling, go slower. Does that make sense? Alright. So let's go through some of the parts here. This is the what? This is what? Fence. Very good. What does this do? It's like a guard, okay, and a kickback. What does this knob up here do?
Raises and lowers the blade.
Say it louder.
Raises and lowers the blade.
Raises and lowers the blade. Very good. What's this? What would you call this? It's a pistol grip, okay? It's like, I call it a gun handle or a pistol grip. And to change the angle, you would have to move these two levers over here on the side. This machine does all kinds of things, but we're not going to do them. You can actually bring the motor out, tighten it in place. I'm using my left hand. That's not going to hold. You can turn the whole thing and rip material down the fence. Very dangerous. I'm not going to do it. We can tilt the whole assembly can tilt this way, and we can do some bevels. I'm not going to do it. Okay? It's just too dangerous. There's too much things that can happen. Okay, and we have better tools to do those things. We have the table saw, we have the jointer, we have the bandsaw over there. We don't need to do those things, but if this was your only tool, you could do those things with this. It's just a little dangerous, okay? It's not really designed for that, but it can do that. So we turn that back, squeeze home. Okay, now the proper operation is if you pull this out, it's supposed to go back by itself. Alright, and if OSHA was coming in, they would want to make sure that that happens. That's why we have this right here. On my old one, I had some weights down on the bottom, and it would pull it back. It's kind of funny looking. So, that's the radial arm saw. Radial, meaning that it can turn its radius, right? Arm, here's the arm. Saw has a blade in it. Okay? So, any questions?